October, Hurricane Matthew made its way up the East Coast, leaving a significant amount of rainfall in its wake, particularly here in the state of North Carolina. The Weather Channel and other national outlets were all in on covering the high winds and ominous clouds, but gradually rising river levels and post-storm dam bursts aren't quite as exciting to cover. Look, I never like to be in the group of people whose first thought after a natural disaster is to complain about whether or not the president or other politicians have made an appearance and validated our tragedy with their presence. But I will say, as much time as Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton have spent in North Carolina the past few months, I was a little disappointed and disheartened that neither of them mentioned the flooding or its victims in their second debate, which was held as waters were still rising in eastern North Carolina. Both candidates would be back in the state to campaign within the week. Our gubernatorial candidates, both obviously very in tune with the catastrophic damage and loss of life brought on by Matthew, have done a better job acknowledging the tragedy and its victims. And in fact, I'd like to commend both Roy Cooper and Pat McCrory. From what I've witnessed, other than a few comments about state reserve funds, neither side has attempted to make a political issue out of storm preparations or response. Now, McCrory has mentioned some hurricane protocol he'd like explored, but in terms of attempting to leverage Hurricane Matthew for political points, either positively for oneself or negatively against an opponent, I think on the whole, North Carolina's politicians deserve credit for handling things the right way. Which is a good thing, because no one wants to see guys in ties arguing when there are homes and lives to be rebuilt. You know what else no one wants to see? More political campaign ads. Forget battleground state. North Carolina is a political nuclear arms race right now. Seemingly every candidate, every race is spending money and having outside money spent on them, and the strategy seems to be to out-airplay your opponent. I've watched football games where Deborah Ross and Richard Burr talk so much, I feel like they're in the announcing booth. Some commercial breaks will seriously be 4 straight political ads. Deborah Ross molested children while burning a flag. I'm Deborah Ross, and I did not molest children nor burn a flag. Every YouTube video I watch has a political pre-roll ad these days. In fact, this video on YouTube probably had a political pre-roll ad. Then this weekend, something terrible happened. The Orange County GOP headquarters in Hillsborough was firebombed and vandalized, an attack that was denounced by both presidential candidates and people from both parties. In fact, in an ultimate display of bipartisanship, a Massachusetts Democrat set up a Kickstarter to help rebuild the damaged offices and raise $13,000. Which got me thinking, we're in an e-commerce, digital money, ride-sharing world, right? It's a world where a guy can hold up a sign on ESPN asking for beer money on Venmo and get a lot of response to it. It's a world where one political party can quickly raise some funds to help another political party just because it's the right thing to do. So why can't this be a world where we figure out a way to make all the money that's being spent making people more stressed out and angry watching negative political ads and get it redirected to all of these people and towns in eastern North Carolina who desperately need it? Look, I'm not setting up a Kickstarter. I know several people are doing so, and there are many other relief efforts underway right now. My only plea there is that folks check things out and make sure they're giving money to the right places. No, my challenge is to the candidates, specifically the big 6, Clinton, Trump, McCrory, Cooper, Ross, and Burr, but also any others currently spending money on television or radio ads. Stop it. Stop wasting money on freaking television ads right now. Figure out a way to get those millions of dollars to people in Goldsboro and Kinston and Fairbluff and Fayetteville whose homes were underwater for days. Get a message to whatever groups are supporting you that the best way to support you, the best way to persuade people that you should be a leader for the state of North Carolina is to announce you're pulling off all your campaign ads due to Hurricane Matthew, and instead you're donating all of those funds to the Red Cross for Matthew relief. Put the candidate's name in the donation. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Instead of sending your volunteers door to door in areas you know the likely result, send those people down east to lend a hand. I don't mind if you announce how much you're giving to charity or how much you're doing. Use a giant check if you want to give those millions away. Get all the PR you can out of it. But every time I see a political ad, I'm reminded that another few $1,000s that did not sway my vote could have gone to helping people who need it badly and need it right now. What candidate will be bold? What candidate's going to take up my challenge? People of North Carolina, I challenge you to do your part to help out as you can. Politicians in North Carolina, we're watching to see where your priorities lie. For right now, they should be in Eastern North Carolina helping flood victims. For North Carolina Yesterday Today, I'm Hayes Permar.